is Russ Matthews from Real Dialogue. Welcome back to session 4. I hope you've enjoyed this whole process that we've been traveling through over the last few weeks. This week, we're going to be finishing with the film The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But it's worthwhile considering what we've kind of done over the last few weeks. One is we went through Inside Out, and we looked at God as creator, but also how he created us and made us who we are. 2, we looked at Wall-E, and we looked at the brokenness of this world and that there's a need of a savior. And the 3rd week, we looked at Captain America: First Avenger, where we also considered who a savior is and how transformative he can be in our lives. And so we finished this week where it all kind of comes together. And we'll be looking at week 4 at The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Hope you can stick along with me as we kind of travel through your discussion guide. Be able to have that discussion amongst those that are in the room with you, or maybe if you're even online with your teacher, that you can really enjoy this whole process, but also see how the message of this whole series really can impact your life today. So just as a reminder from last time, kind of what we were able to learn through Captain America: First Avenger. One is that God doesn't necessarily judge us based on our outward appearances. But 2, that also heroes come in different packages. And Jesus definitely may not look like Captain America, but he definitely is the hero that we can really trust in. And finally, considering the whole idea of transformation and how you can actually change who you are based on who you believe in and trust in, specifically in your Savior. So let's continue on in week 4 with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Now, the first question or set of questions I'd ask you, based on that clip, is that in this film, if Aslan is representing God, who does the White Witch represent? And in your own life, do you really think that there are kind of other forces out there that are kind of coming up against you in the life that you live? Good and evil. God, and who is that other person? Now in this next clip, Edmund kind of comes back to his family, but then all of a sudden he's been made aware of the fact that he has to pay a cost. He has to pay a cost to the White Witch. How is this story similar to the story that we can understand and know from the Bible? If you know it, or maybe based on those passages you have before you, you'll be able to have that discussion of how this is reflective of Jesus' sacrifice. Now this final clip might be a bit confusing to some, and it'd be worthwhile you having this discussion with your teacher or with your group. I mean, similar to the death and burial and resurrection of Jesus, sometimes this is a bit confusing. But also, what does this mean to you? And does it mean anything? Is there significance, not in really the death of Aslan as much as it is in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ? I'd encourage you to take some time to talk with your teacher or talk with your group and be able to kind of consider how this impacts your life. Well, I want to finish with that clip and also that consideration and also this passage. What we see in John chapter 11 is the passage that Jesus says, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die." I'd hope for you is that after traveling through this series, it might be a consideration for you to be able to come to knowledge of knowing who Jesus Christ is in your life. This is a great time to be able to take some time and spend with your teacher and be able to understand and know more about who Jesus Christ is. What's always interesting to me in this story of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is so many of us want to be the hero. But really, in reality, we're all Edmund in a way. Yeah, Edmund really represents all of us. And I think that's true also for my life. I found as I was growing up that I was a relatively good kid. I did pretty much all the right things. I went to church, I went to Bible studies and did all these different things. And even though I was a good kid, I didn't necessarily qualify to be able to have a relationship with God because I really didn't know Jesus Christ. Until I came to the point of realizing this world is broken. but also that meant that I'm broken, that I am actually a sinner. It was one of those times where I can remember very distinctly when I was about 14 years of age, and where I actually came to the realization that not only was I a sinner, but I was in need of a Savior. Even though I was a good kid and had gone to church, I needed to know God through Jesus Christ. It was at that point I actually accepted Christ as my Savior. And I can stand here today confident in knowing that I'll spend eternity with Him because of that. So take some time. If this isn't something that you've done in your life, maybe spend some time with the people in your group, maybe with the teacher, or maybe if you need to go talk with your parents about this. Is what would it mean for you to be able to become a follower of Jesus Christ? It's a great question to ask, and probably the most important question of this whole series. And I hope you've enjoyed this time. Well, that's the end. 4 sessions. You've done it. You've made it through. I hope you've enjoyed this time at God in Film, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy these films and others and be able to maybe look at film in a slightly different way. But more importantly, I hope that this has been a great way to introduce Jesus to you in a very special way, one that really means a lot to me in regards to film and the Bible and bringing them together. This is Russ Matthews from Real Dialogue. See you at the movies.